Hello everyone, I'm Brophy1322 and welcome to the return of the Content Creator Livestream Showcases and the Community Verified program. This video is supported by YouTube ads. If you want to support me, please consider whitelisting my channel on your ad blocker if you use one. You'll never see a mid-roll ad in any of my videos. So for this first stream, we are just going to be doing the community jobs that I haven't raced on so far. Obviously we did the first batch in a previous video. You can go check that out if you want. But yeah, the Community Verified program is returning. For those who are new and don't know what the Community Verified program is, basically it was my response to Rockstar verified tracks that were always pretty terrible. And that's kind of continued on with the community verified jobs, the community jobs that they're doing now. It's basically just a reskinned Rockstar verified program. Although some of them are better than what we ever got with Rockstar verified, so at least we can say that. But community verified is basically our version of that, where you can all submit your tracks. We take track submissions from the community. We have a team of testers who rate the tracks, and the very best of them, those that get, you know, over a certain score, become community verified, and all those community verified tracks get showcased on my channel in a video and linked for everyone to play. So the idea is obviously that hopefully we find some tracks and the best tracks that people are creating, such that those of you watching can all have a good time with some properly well-made, decent races. And I guarantee that pretty much everything that we see from this point on after this stream in a regular community verified stream is going to be probably better than everything that we see in this stream, in this video, in terms of comparing them to the community jobs that Rockstar verify. To be fair though, this first one, I've played this one before. There's some of them we've played before. This one isn't too bad. I kind of like the creativity on this one. Being fully sort of indoor, utilising the trophy truck, which is always a pretty decent car. This is one of the better community jobs, I think. I think the last one that we're going to play today is probably the best, but that's also because it was previously community verified by us earlier in, like, 5 years ago or something. But we'll come to it, and we will talk about all the races. That's the idea with these sort of streams as well. You know, I do talk about all the races that we play. It's not just about the primary thing is to showcase the tracks and, you know, get these good quality creations out there for people to see and eyes on them and people playing them, and showcasing what is possible in the creator, like the kind of quality creations you can have. You don't have to just settle for some of these other community jobs that you'll see, or anything Rockstar makes, honestly. So yeah, it's hopefully gonna be useful. Obviously, this first stream is basically just a test stream, just to make sure everything works. See how it's been a while since I've done one of these community verified showcase streams. You know, we've got a bit of a new system going on this time with the new iteration of this. But all the info you need for the actual submissions and verification and whatnot, if you want to submit your own tracks, all the rules that you need to follow, are on Brophy.com/verified. That's also linked in the description. It gives you a full rundown of how to submit tracks. It gives you the links for the track for forms to submit. It gives you a link to a spreadsheet that contains all the tracks and all the scores. It's all on Brophy.com/verified. It'll be linked in the description and the pinned comment as well. And yeah, it gives you all the information that you need. And make sure to read it through as well if you're going to submit a track, because there have been changes made to this iteration of the community verified program that you need to be aware of. All Alright, Stunt Race 2.0. These community job names are very inventive. The first race, there was a reasonable criticism of the first race in the chat, just that it's a little bit boring because it is full throttle for almost the entirety of the track, that first race. But at least you know, I give credit to some of the creativity for that first race. I haven't seen most of the tracks that we're going to see in this community jobs showcase. This one in particular, first time I've ever seen this, so let's see. I've heard that they're a little bit better than that first batch, but I don't think they're going to be as good as anything that we're going to see as part of the community verified program. But oh god, straight into second. But you know, I will keep my mind open to the possibility that we'll see something good. But the names of some of these tracks don't they don't really induce confidence in that way. I would say. So there is a little bit of a change this time to the format. In comparison, for those who used to watch the old content creator live streams, they obviously used to be one live stream every single week, on one live stream for PS4, one live stream for Xbox One, and one live stream for PC. We're not doing that anymore, as you could probably have already told if you're watching this as a video. The live streams, instead of being on YouTube, are going to be on Twitch, and I'm going to upload them as a video, cutting out all of the bits in between the races. So it's just going to be one race, then another race, then another race, just to cut out the fluff, and hopefully it'll also take us a bit less time. If I'm, oh man, there's a wall ride there. We made it as well. No, you didn't. So yeah, there's going to be one video every month, and we're going to have in that video 5 tracks on each platform. So obviously with the new community verified program, we're focusing on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC. Obviously there'll be no PC for the foreseeable future until Rockstar get their acts together with all the security issues that they've got going on at the minute. But that's the plan going forward anyway. We'll be recording them sort of on Twitch on a Saturday morning, once a month, and then you'll get one video with all the tracks, and you can, hopefully it should be quicker as well. It's going to be a lot less of a time sink doing it this way than an hour and a half long live stream once a week. You're going to basically have one video that's less than that time that shows 15 tracks rather than just sort of 7 tracks in a big live stream with a load of, oh man, okay, there's a crossover. Looks like there's 2 crossovers. So yeah, it should be a better format. It's also going to be a little bit less of a time sink for me when it comes to hosting and things like that. I'm not going to have to think about it because we do have specific hosts. It's Box on for PS5 now, and then Specky's going to help us out on Xbox, and Leos are on PC. And yeah, it's going to be a lot less of a time sink for me. Previously, doing an hour and a half live stream, sorting out all of the playlists and the jobs I need to play beforehand. It was a good amount of time that I had to spend. Now I can just jump in and do some races, which is going to be a lot better, and talk about them obviously. Go-kart docks race with only the word docks that's actually capitalized properly. Again, these titles do not induce confidence. Little nitpicky things like that is the kind of stuff that you're not going to see from any tracks in the actual showcases, I think. Just capitalize the words properly. But this is the kind of stuff that Rockstar are quite happy to put out there to everybody. But it's a go-kart race, and it's around the docks, so I suppose it is saying exactly what it is. The last race, it was pretty boring. I think it was an okay stunt race, but when you compare it to some of the stunt races we've seen in the community verified program in the past, it just does not live up to that. whatsoever. And I think that's what you find with either Rockstar Verified or community job stuff. It's just like they're never, apart from like the original Rockstar Verified with Gordo and things like that, they're never sort of truly bad. I think community jobs and Rockstar Verified things, they're just, for those of us who are in the community, we know that you can just do so much better. And they're you know, I think I covered it in that first video when we went through the first couple of community jobs, so go back and watch that because I covered it pretty well. And I also showcased some community verified jobs at the end of that video to compare and contrast based on what you've just seen as well. But yeah, this one is you know, it's a test stream. That's why there's 16 tracks that we're going to be seeing today rather than 15, just because these are the 16 community job races that I haven't played so far. And we're just going to, you know, see the new format like I was talking about in the last race, see how that goes. It seems to be working quite well. Like, a benefit is that we can have the Xbox lobby all up and ready to go while I'm doing the PS5 playlist, and then I can just jump straight in and get to doing some tracks. And the whole idea is to just showcase these tracks. Not these ones, obviously, we're doing that now, but showcasing community created tracks and the better tracks. That's the plan. Like, this is fine, you know, this is alright as a kart race, but like, compare it to, we did a kart race specific live stream after the sort of previous iteration of the community verified stuff ended, and some of those races were incredible with all the interiors and stuff like that. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well, because some of those kart races were remarkable. This is just a load of props and walls put around the docks. You know, it's fine, it does the job, but it's nothing spectacular in comparison to, you know, those kart races that we've seen, at least. And it's just a shame that Rockstar don't highlight those races instead, and that's why I've always felt like I've had to do it. And that's why the community verified program has returned. It's been a while. I've always intended to bring it back for PS5 and Series X, but obviously we've been waiting a long time for the creator to get some upgrades to make it worthwhile. Now it does, so it's good to have it back and be able to showcase some proper creations. Suicide Clowns Extreme. This is one of those that I have played. I think this was the second batch of community jobs. I did play this one. Thankfully we're only doing one lap of this. But yeah, so the main goal of these videos, as they will be, and streams as they are when I actually do them, these job showcases at least, is to showcase, you know, the very best tracks from the very best creators, and just get them in front of your eyes. We're doing we're going to focus on doing 5 minutes. Oh, the overtake! The actual literal overtake! Beautiful! You know, the fact that Rockstar don't verify as good a tracks as they could makes me feel like I've always had to do it, and that's the whole point of these things, because there's some incredible creations from some very talented people in the creator and in the community, and they deserve to get their tracks showcased, and I guess I'm the one to do that, and I have been for a long time, I suppose, but we're bringing it back. The links for all the tracks that we play, obviously apart from these because they're the community jobs, but the links for the tracks that we play in every stream are always in the description of the video, so you'll be able to add them to your game depending on what platform you're on. Remember, tracks aren't cross-platform, even though there's no reason why they couldn't be. That's just a Rockstar thing. But yeah, you can only play the tracks on the platform that you're on. And for anyone who doesn't know, if you've never played a non-Rockstar created or verified track or whatever, the way to get tracks that you see us play is to click the link that will be in the description, sign into Social Club, click the bookmark button, then you go to in GTA Online, you go to the pause menu, online, jobs, play job, bookmarked, and then most of the time all the races that we play are going to be in the Stunt Races section, and that's how you load up a job. I'll probably reiterate that in the actual first one because it doesn't really apply to these jobs. But yeah, next week will be the first of the actual showcases, showcasing the proper community verified stuff. So far this is going pretty well, this little tester. So I think this new format's gonna be pretty good. Obviously the new format going forward, the community verified stuff, it has been brought back for the new gen platforms, PS5 and Series X. Unfortunately PC doesn't have all the benefits that PS5 and Series X do in the creator, but they've got PC magic if they want, I suppose. But yeah, we've been sort of waiting for the PS5 and Series X creator to actually get better than the old gen versions to bring back the community verified stuff, and now, you know, the PS5 and Series X creator has 300 props available. Oh god. It has 300 props available, 100 fixture removals. It's significantly better and more capable now than the old gen versions. Those who are still on old gen, you can still submit old gen tracks. Just be mindful of the fact that they will be marked against and going up against tracks that are made with the new gen platforms. So, you know, you might be able to make a track with 200 props and 40 fixture removals and it doesn't need anything else. But there might be tracks that it would have done better for having those extra prop usage. So, and it will be marked against those, you know, that's the new standard. Yeah, also for anyone on those old gen platforms, god damn it, some of the tracks that we play will still be PS4 and Xbox One tracks because people will have submitted those. So, you know, your mileage will vary. You might be able to add some of the tracks that we showcase to your game. It's possible and they'll work. But that is probably gonna... The number of tracks that will work for will dwindle over time as more people get the new gen platforms and we get more submissions from the new gen platforms. Yeah, why does that part exist on this track? The rest of the track is alright. Like, it's you know, it's a bit of fun using the clown van. It's a bit different. There's some interesting sections in some places. It's better than the first stunt race that we've done in this lobby, I would say. But that, yeah, up and down section is just, it's just obnoxious. It's still not particularly as interesting as it could be. It's still a little boring, this one, but I think it's more interesting than the previous stunt race. It's more interesting than the go-kart track as well. Oh god. Oh god, I'm gone. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I've wanted to say about the reintroduction of the community verified program and the content creator showcase streams. I think I've covered everything at this point. So I'll probably, you know, cover the main points again in the very first actual showcase next week. But for now, we'll just go through all of these community jobs and rip them a new one if they deserve it. And see how bad they can get. And hopefully there might be some gems in there as well. The last track definitely will be. I know that at least. All the hitboxes after the jumps. Yeah. That's what you get with these. They're not generally well tested, so you get all sorts of hitbox issues sometimes. But we'll have proper tracks soon in the proper community verified showcases. Sandy Shores Stadium. I played this one as well. This was in the second batch of community jobs. I remember this because it felt like an old community, an old community verified job, like something that we would have verified like 5 years ago or something, and it just hasn't been looked at since. I don't think we actually did, but that's just what it felt. So this one's one of the better tracks as well, I think, and it's also more of a proper track. but there's a number of sort of areas of significant improvement that you could point out in terms of some of the wall placement and general layout and stuff like that. But hey, we're using an Ardent in a race. This is decent compared to other Community Series jobs. Yes, that is exactly right. Like the metal barrier there, for example. You don't want to see metal barriers in jobs because they've got bad hitboxes. You know, things like that that the average person might not know. Do you know what? Rockstar probably even don't know sometimes, and that's why they verify this stuff. But the sort of experienced creator community know all these things, know the props that have bad hitboxes, know the things to use and things not to use. When it comes to sort of the stuff that Rockstar put in community jobs, it doesn't take into account any of that kind of stuff, whereas we do. We have high standards if you're going to get your track verified as part of the community verified program. But the way that it works obviously is all of the testers give a score from 0 to 5, well 1 to 5, 0 is if it's ineligible. And if it gets an average score from the testers of 4 or higher, it becomes community verified. And you can see the scores that your track gets once it's been scored. All the scores are published on the spreadsheet. Not just the verified tracks, but all submissions. And there's usually little notes on what's needed to improve it. But at least this is like more of a proper track. The problem is there's so many straights that I'm really struggling in the Ardent. The Turismo Classic is just faster at a straight line than the Ardent. The Ardent's got the better grip. But there's so many straights on this track that it's mostly full of top speed sections. Like top speed dominates around here. It's just hairpin, long straight, hairpin, long straight, hairpin, long straight. But decently made nevertheless. Certainly better than just snapping a load of stunt props together to make a boring ass stunt race. I'm gonna get overtaken by the first corner again. Oh, that was a nice little bump. Need to defend the inside. God damn it! The Ardent just needs a little bit of extra oomph. It's just a little bit down on power for the Turismo. It's got the better grip in the corners, it just needs that little bit of extra. At least we're getting a proper racing, but again it is just straight hairpin, straight hairpin, straight hairpin. Nope. Saved it. The idea with the length of the tracks going forward for the new iteration of the content creator showcases is that every track will be showcased for between 4 and 5 minutes, which isn't as long as what we did before. Obviously we used to do I used to aim for an average of 6 minutes, but I think even 5 minutes is enough to showcase a track, and my main concern is getting these tracks out there to people. I don't want to have an in-depth discussion on every single track. I can, point out some of the positives and negatives and ways to improve. And also that the idea with that is it helps anyone watching who's creating their own tracks to do the right things as well. But my main focus is just getting the tracks out there for people to play and getting eyes on, these excellent creations. I'm not too worried about going too in depth on every single track. This is locked to rally cars, I think. Oh yeah. Don't choose the ISI. People are going to choose the ISI Sport. We never choose the ISI. We never allow the ISI Sport because it's OP for rally races. But I'm sticking with my Omnis. But yeah, the idea is to just showcase these tracks, get them out there, and I think 5 minutes is enough to do that. If we were to do, you know, 4 to 5 minutes is enough. If we were to do 6, 7, 8 minutes like we used to for tracks before, that's how you end up with 7 tracks taking an hour and a half. Now we're doing 15 tracks every month, 5 on each platform. We need to bring down a little bit the time it takes to do each track so that we can have it all in one video and make it just easier to digest, I think. Alright, we've only got 2 OP cars with the 2 Flash GTs, everybody else in an Omnis, that's what I like to see. So this was locked to rally cars, which I always like to see if you're going to do a rally or rallycross race or something, actually locking it to the cars that it's meant to do. Most of the time I like to just see it open, but for rally races it makes sense. The Descent of Man, this is called. I don't know why it's got the little dashes before and after the name, but so it's almost like a rally stunt track, I guess. Can you do off-road vehicles on this? Or is it locked to sports cars? For anyone who knows. Yeah, the dashes are so I can get, yeah, that's something that will never fly when it comes to community verified stuff. Putting like hashtags or dashes or whatever in front of your job name to get it higher up on bookmark lists because it's higher in the alphabet. Stuff like that is a pet peeve of mine, and it's never gonna fly if you want your job verified and praised by me. Oh, scumbag Flash GT. Off-road motorcycles or sports. Okay, so at least you can do off-road vehicles around here. That's good. Sometimes people lock it down too much, I think, when they're making tracks like this with a specific theme. And yeah, titles in particular are a pet peeve of mine. Like putting things in all caps or not capitalizing correctly on the title. It's just laziness. You're gonna put in all the effort to make a track. At least make the title proper. But those are pet peeves. Actually putting things in the title to get it higher on lists is a significant annoyance. This, I remember we've played this already, I think. And I remember saying exactly the same thing at the time. This just feels like a load of random props scattered around the map. Random props, random checkpoints. There's no real thought to the prop placement, making sort of transitions smooth. You know, especially even when we had... You'll see when we actually do proper community verified tracks from next week onwards. You'll see transitions that are just so smooth. And it's because creators use like maybe 10 different pieces, track pieces, to make it a nice smooth transition. Whereas jobs like this, they just put one prop intersecting with another prop, and it just makes a horrible, you know, bump on the transition, and it's just, you know, no nuance to the quality. But yeah, this just feels so haphazardly put together. I remember seeing it first time we did this. Just random props put in all sorts of weird locations. No thought to like where the actual track goes. The fact that there was massive bumps on parts of the off-road section earlier on. Just, you know, some thought is usually given, even if you're making a rally or an off-road track, to where the cars are actually going to be, at least for proper creations, but not really for this one. It feels like there, just the random random bumps, no thought given. That's what I was talking about there with the rougher transitions. Those were a little bit smoother than we had earlier on in the race. I will give it though, it's still more fun than the stunt race that we played earlier on. And the go-kart race. There, these rough transitions on these props again, just placed on a proper creation, they would be all smooth. Despite everything that I've said, I think it's still one of the better community series jobs. At least it's got a little bit of something extra to it. You know, it's a bit of fun still. But I wouldn't recommend doing more than one lap. I don't think I would want to do more than one lap at a time. Although I don't think I would revisit it. And everything I've always said about these community series jobs, including the stuff from, I think I said it on the original video when we did the first batch, it's always through the lens of what I know is possible from experienced, good creators. And the incredible creations that can be made. To the average GTA player, I'm sure all of these community series jobs are totally fine. But that's probably because they've never seen the actual good stuff. And that's what I hope to showcase. I think it's just a little too long, this one. If the creator had focused it in a little bit in terms of maybe half the length that it is, and used the extra props that he's had to use on making the other half of it smoother and nicer and more detailed, I think it would be a lot better. At the minute, it's just way too long, and it stretches out the props too much. And to the point where you get sections with no props. Quality, quantity, etc. Indeed. Do you want quantity or quality? I love the Omnus though. It's a point-to-point race though, I suppose. I didn't realise it wasn't a... That's why I said about laps earlier. A little too long. For a point-to-point race, you can kind of get away with it, I suppose. But even so, I think it should still be like 4 minutes long and have better prop usage. Bit too stretched out. I bet you lost a lot of viewers here. Maybe. A 7.5 minute track like that. Probably. Hello if you're still here. Oh yeah. You can use the Ardent, the Weaponized Ignis, the Night Shark. This is meant to be a Deluxo race only. But you can also use the Ardent, the Weaponized Ignis and the Night Shark if you own them. I think I've got to go for the Deluxo because I think it's meant for the Deluxo, but yeah, that's an oversight on Rockstar's part, not disabling these cars. Yeah, you can use non-rocket voltic vehicles in rocket voltic races. Okay. I'm assuming you can't use regular vehicles on this. Like there'll be something where you need the Deluxo to fly for it or something. Air hockey. So I like the creation first of all. Can you not go into... do you know what? I don't use the Deluxo ever. How do you switch? Can you not go into... I'm guessing it's locked to this mode. You can't... Because it would be quicker to just drive normally, wouldn't it? I don't think you can. I think it's locked. Which makes sense. So I get the theme. Hold triangle. You shush. So this is like air hockey. So we're skating across the table, air hockey style. And the creation itself is pretty good. Like the air hockey table. That's the puck, I guess. And you've got the devices. I don't know what you'd call those things to hit it with. Pretty competent creation, I think. As a showcase goes of, damn it. You know, of the actual table. You need a lot of people to make this a fun one. Oh, I'm not paying attention. That makes sense with all the crossovers and stuff as well. I can, and the, you know, you twist around certain sections. I can understand that. Yeah, I wonder why it wasn't like made as a capture job. Like this table, you've got the balls and everything. Like, could that not have been more interesting? You could totally use the Ardent or the Night Shark or the Ignis here, right? Like, I'm not seeing anywhere where you need the Deluxo. The Deluxo is just to give you that feel that you're on an air hockey table. You could genuinely drive around here. Like, if you get this in a random race, you could use, like, a weaponized Ignis and just beat everybody because you're going so much faster. The Deluxo is even faster in its normal driving form than it is when it's hovering. So obviously the other proper cars are going to be faster as well. Big oversight to allow those cars. I'm kind of over it now though. I'm kind of bored. The Deluxo is not the most fun vehicle to race with, I would say. I like the theme. Yeah, probably more interesting with more players. Ideally 30. But I'm kind of done now. Still better than Rockstar Deluxo races, that's true. Do you know what? This probably is like some sort of capture game mode. I bet it originated as like a capture game mode, and that's where it really shines. And that's where it's the most fun, and what the creator made in the first place. And then they probably just thought, oh, I'll make this hockey table into a race just for a bit of fun. But not really putting too much thought into it. And then Rockstar come along and verify the race instead of the much better, more interesting capture job. That's probably what's happened. That's what happened when I got my my race verified by Rockstar back in the 2015-2014 era. They verified LSGP, Los Santos GP, but they only verified the inner loop, smaller variety of it, rather than the main track. And I couldn't understand why. And of course we're ending the PS5 half of this with the best of the verified tracks. You've got people walking on the beach, open wheel on the sand. It's actually a proper open wheel creation as well. Oh my days, how did they, what were they thinking with this one? As soon as I saw this, I thought, what on earth are they thinking? There's a pit lane, it's the most basic of track with all walls everywhere. I think we've got catch-up and slipstream on this one. 2 laps is 1 lap, because it's so short. And this is the first open wheel track that they verify. I don't understand. So yeah, we've done the first 8 tracks on PS5 today. We're going to do the next 8 Community Series jobs on Xbox Series X. We would have done like almost 5 on each platform, but we're not playing PC at the minute for obvious reasons. But yeah, the fact that it's all in caps as well, open wheel sand racing. I don't know, man. I guess, like, what can I say positively about it? It's a different take on an open wheel race, I guess. Like, I put soft tyres on. Maybe it was a bad decision. Maybe I need to pit. But the fact that there's even a pit lane in the first place, like, sometimes different does not equal good. I mean, that's true. This is one of those cases. Pedestrians didn't even turn off pedestrians. Like, that's an option in the creator to turn off pedestrians. Didn't even do that. Like, open wheelers on the beach. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, you have creators as part of the Community Verified program who spend like 20, 30, 40 hours crafting a wonderful track and getting feedback from people and doing all this. And then you get this, which looks like it was made in an afternoon. Not sure if disabling PEDs works here. The beach is weird. Fixture removals don't work unless you lock time of day. Oh, really? Okay. An afternoon is a bit generous, yeah, maybe. Maybe it was their first time. Yeah, I mean, I've always said in the content creator showcases, like, people have to learn and how to make tracks and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, it's part of it. And everyone who makes a track for the first time isn't going to be very good. That doesn't mean Rockstar should verify those first time creations. Horrendous. This is one of the worst. So we're on Xbox now for the final 8 races, the other half, and a lot of randoms happen to have joined this playlist. I think we've got like 16, 15 players or something now in this new playlist for the other 8 jobs. And half of the playlist are full of randoms rather than crew members, so this is going to be interesting all on its own. Starting with all caps again. Rockstar really like to verify tracks that are all caps for some reason. Acceleration drop. Acceleration drop! There is going to be at least one highlight. The very last track that we played today is going to be a good track. Because we already know it and verified it ourselves years ago. I think I tried this one. This was in that second batch of community verified jobs, if I remember right. There will be some tracks here that I haven't played though, that were on the new batch. But we should have, by the end of this playlist, we will have caught up with all the community series jobs that Rockstar have verified and put out there in terms of the races. They've done death matches and last team standings and stuff like that, but saved it. But we're not bothered about those non-races here. It's not much praise, but at least it's more interesting than the original. I've said this about a number of jobs now. At least it's more interesting than the original Stunt Race that we played earlier on. I'm not particularly giving it much praise by saying that, but hey, at least it's something. Like some of the sort of sharper turns are a little bit more interesting to drive. The actual like dome itself and they're just boring full throttle bits, and obviously there's crossovers, so it's meant for carnage. So in terms of that, and it's a fairly impressive like looking creation, I suppose. It's not the worst, I would say, in my opinion. At least it's not open wheelers in the sand. Yeah, that's true. At least it's not that. Into the lead though, in my old school C tier Italy GTB against open supercars class. Like having to actually come off the throttle a little bit there, it just adds that little bit of extra interest. At least there's no pedestrians. Yeah. But yeah, most of it is just full throttle boring, waiting for a crash if you're doing it on contact. So it's not the most nuanced of races in the world. Apart from the sand race, to be fair, I don't think anything has been particularly like egregiously bad. Even the sand race, at least it had walls. I don't know, like I'm trying to think of something good about it. At least it was something different. But I think the community series jobs that Rockstar have been putting out there, they are better than that original batch of Rockstar Verified on New Gen that they did. With like the Gordo track and I can't remember the names of the others, but they were terrible. There was one or two that was good, but most of them were absolutely horrendous. These have at least been better than that, but it's also been like 5 years worth of creation time to make something better than that. 5? Maybe even longer? 6 or 7? Well, I actually got a win. Can you believe it? In the old Italy GTB, what a legend. Damn, I actually completed 2 laps in the time, and that last place hasn't even managed to complete 1 lap. Interesting. Deep Blue, at least it's correctly capitalized, the name of this one. Have I tried this one already? Was this in the second batch of jobs as well? I recognize the name. Yeah, we got 1322 crew members in C tier supercars. The Italy's actually a D tier car. But all the randoms can just use whatever they want because they're not listening, obviously. Oh, we got a split section. Oh, is this the pit? Is this a pit lane? No, it is just a split section, right? Yeah, I don't know whether contact was the right idea, but hey, we're in it now. So why did we have that little split? Was it literally just a slowdown followed by a boost? Was that like, you go the left way, you just have normal road, you go the right way, you go slow down, but then you get boost? This is the kind of stuff that will never ever get verified as part of the community verified program. Sort of stunt props, like, you know, almost snapped together, just almost randomly placed. Saved it. This is steep. I've missed the checkpoint. Couldn't keep it in. We've got checkpoint widths now. There's no reason to have missed that checkpoint. You could have increased the checkpoint width so that you're always going to hit it. Although this was probably... They tend to verify quite old tracks, I think. They don't take into account any, like, new changes to tracks, which is really weird. Okay, we're going through water. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. This is just stunt road pieces put together in extreme positions and a lot of boosts put somewhere. Like, that's literally, you boil it down, that's all it is. There's no sort of nuance of experience or anything. Don't even connect those bits. I mean, it's all right. The random GTA player is gonna have some fun with it, I imagine. But they verify tracks that look easy to create so people will be inspired to start creating themselves. Maybe, but surely you want to showcase it's not effing alright. Okay, sorry. Panto roller coaster. Again, capitalized title. I like that. I'm not hopeful for this one though. I really do wonder how they choose them. There's so many theories about it. Like Obst saying in the chat that, you know, they take the most played tracks so if the like ratio is decent or whatever. But then that's not true because certain tracks that have been put as community jobs have had like less than 100 plays on them. Like, where do they get the tracks from? Where do they find these things? Do they just like choose them at random? Like, it's possible. I know that there was like they had a Twitter thing. Yeah, excellent. They had a Twitter thing to like submit tracks with a hashtag or something at one point. And to be fair, they have verified some community verified tracks. They've made our like the verified tracks that we've verified as the community verified program in the past. Some of them, including the very last one in this playlist, have made it to the community series jobs, but very few and far between, and they're very old. No way can you just go all the way around the outside. You can just go all the way around the outside. Killer Stream just did it. He's got into the lead because he went all the way around the outside of the... No way. No way. This is the kind of shit that you don't get in like properly vetted and checked tracks because you've got so many people trying them out and constant iterations and whatnot. This is so boring, by the way. This is now officially worse than that boring stunt race that we did earlier on PS5. There's no reason for this to be only Pantos. Like, it's called Panto Roller Coaster. But it's just, again, a lot of props just randomly put together. These bump things are just annoying. Bad transitions, you know, just no thought or nuance. But yeah, what I was saying about the, I do like this bit though. That's quite clever. Jumping over the other bits of the track. Oh, can you skip the slowdown as well? This is just generic bottom of the barrel stuff. Like, it's fine if people want to create stuff like this and even learn in the creator. I'm not saying that, I'm not to bash the actual creator of this. Like, they're learning how to make tracks and everyone's got to start somewhere. And if they make something like this and their friends have a hit them and their friends have a little bit of fun with it, then great. But not when you're showcasing it and putting it as a community job to the entire populace. The metal barriers are not aligned to the track surface properly. Like, how do they find them? And yeah, it's, when it comes to the verified tracks, the community verified stuff that we've done in the past, there was absolutely no need for 2 laps on this, by the way. Thanks to Copyright for hosting this playlist as well in Specky's absence. Or you can totally miss the slowdown. But yeah, the verified tracks that they've done, they're old verified tracks. Stuff that we've verified as part of the community verified series about 5 years ago. They've not done any more modern stuff, and I just don't understand why. There's a spreadsheet with an absolute massive list of tracks of all kinds. It's not just regular circuit races, there's stunt races, there's rally races, off-road stuff, transform stuff, there's all sorts on that spreadsheet. And there's going to be more from this series returning. That checkpoint placed totally not in the center as well, for some reason. Rip. I'm so bored right now. You know how we always have a go at run skippers for G-Freds? Well, anyone who skips to the next track, I understand. Yeah, maybe we need to spice it up with a dad joke. Come on, Nightbot, give me a dad joke. Here's one. Where do rabbits go after they get married? On a bunny moon. Bunny moon. A bunny moon. That was more interesting than doing this race. Couldn't even proper move over the lamppost. Nice roll. Oh, Christmas tree again. Proper capitalization on the title. Holiday themed transform race, this one said. So, okay. It is fair enough. What you know, Box said in the chat, these creators would do well to join Content Creator Hub. For those who don't know, Content Creator Hub is a Discord server with a lot of creators, and it's where you can go to get help with your creations and, you know, get feedback and figure out what works and what doesn't. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff you need to do to make a good creation. You need constant feedback, lots of feedback, constant iterating on the idea. Oh, I got it, but I missed it. Oh no, where are we? I could totally just skip all that. That's fine. Do I have to be upside down for this one? Wait, and then Obst followed it up with, yeah, the concepts for these races are usually not bad, it's just the execution that needs help. And I think I agree with that. It's just like having that experience sometimes, or that feedback and that help. The actual concepts aren't too bad, they're just, you know, could be executed much better. Look at that. Look at that transition. Oh, look at all these transitions. Just props. It doesn't even connect at the top. The jet noise is drowning you. Okay. I mean, hopefully people made out what I said. There are some loud vehicles on this, to be fair. Again, the concept of a transform race like this is fine, but it is kind of boring. Like, this is just full throttle 100% of the time. Oh my god, I love that skipping that totally works. It gave me some positions. Oh, did I die? Because I landed badly. Oh, well, what a rip. Oh, and then a super long wait. I made up all that time from skipping. Instant karma, eh? God damn it. Disappointing. It's just there's nothing to it, this one. It's just full throttle in everything all the time, pretty much. It only works when you do races like this, like how most people do races on GTA with catch-up on and slipstream on, and there's just no actual like skill involved in who wins. It's all just luck of where you hit the slipstream and the catch-up. That's how we all feel about these jobs, I think. SSJ Motocross, all motocrossing caps as well. It's only for dirt bikes. Sanchez, BF400 and Manches are available. Let's see. I mean, I don't like bike races at the best of times, but it is fair what Night Angel said in the chat. They don't want to verify stuff that makes their own races look bad. Maybe there's an element of that. It's just, I think it's just a shame. Because the creator community, at least the sort of more hardcore creator community, they're so good at what they do. They're so talented at the things they make from a creative perspective and an execution perspective as well. And it's such a small community that it's just a shame that they don't get more recognition, especially if, you know, Rockstar are going to be showcasing tracks. Showcase the best that this small community make. Hey, least the community verified program's back. These content creator live streams are back, so it might not be the entire GTA community that sees them, but at least a couple of thousand might every month who watch these videos. Damn, I'm in it first as well. Why do I say things? Why do I say anything? Oh my god. I do a sick grind and then, oh, I'm up at the first, and then immediately dead. Jinxes are real. It was like instant as well. Really? Really, the boost's gonna throw us off? Oh, no! You're kidding me! You've got to be kidding me with that shit! No way! I thought it was gonna be fine. I landed it perfectly. I've gone from the lead to 15th. No. Oh my god. Oh, this is the I'm back here again. I'm in stone dead last. Oh my god. Still haven't made it to the next checkpoint. Oh my days. Looks like this checkpoint's a bit far back as well. Really? Really? Can none of us who chose the BF400 survive? People keep dying on this section, I noticed. Is it because the BF400 doesn't land properly? Look at all of us. We keep respawning here. There's a good half the field respawning. Was this ever tested by the creator? Did the creator ever actually do some testing on this to see if you can actually complete the track? It seems like the Sanchez's are alright. Glide? I'll try to glide. It's been a long time since I lead. Get it, get it, get it! Got it. Glidden. Oh man. The friggin' random won. One of the randoms won this one. This is when not having knowledge about the fastest bikes actually comes in handy. Because he chose probably the Sanchez instead of the fastest. Oh man. When they copied these jobs, they don't seem to keep the stunt physics. It was very noticeable on 10166 when using the Cucho drag. Track gets built with stunt physics and the Rockstars use land race physics. Do they really? Even though these count... I mean, they've got stunt props, but they use the land physics, is that right? Like on the Rockstar the community jobs version, the verified version. Oh, the leader was a BF400 as well? Oh well. We're just bad then. So that's why we keep dying. It's a lot easier to fall off in land races with bikes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the stunt races, you generally can't fall off bikes. Like, you're almost impenetrable in the stunt physics. There are different physics in stunt races, yes. Not, like, majorly, but, like, just to be able to help with, like, loops and, for example, bikes especially, you can't fall off, as people have said. BF400 doesn't like landing on the rear wheel only, it's fine otherwise. Okay. Let's give that a go if I actually manage to make it to that area again without DNFing. One lap would have been totally fine on this as well. BF400 doesn't like landing on its rear wheel. It's fine otherwise. I'll try sideways. Oh, as long as there was a little bit of side action, it worked. Oh, man. That wasn't too bad of a track, to be fair, for a motocross bike race. I don't like it was all right, but the fact that it you know, had those issues about being falling off the bike. That was the main problem. That's a Rockstar issue. Very inspiring name for this one, Stunt Blazer Aqua. I think that's just a straight copy of like the other Rockstar naming convention for these races. I'm not going to enjoy this. Customs on this one lets you use the Ardent and the Night Shark again, just like the Deluxo race. We see those who know how to lean forward on the Blazer Aqua for extra speed and those who don't. So yeah, the physics are different in stunt races, mainly for bikes. You just basically, you have to like land on your head to be knocked off a bike in a stunt race. You can't even get taken out by other cars in stunt races if you're on a bike. So that was the problem in the last race, that the stunt physics didn't carry over. I've always found, I don't think I've ever done a Blazer Aqua race that was interesting. When they were released, they were really terrible as well. They're just boring, they're just full throttle all the time. Again, one of those races that only works with like catch up and slipstream on. And if you just don't really care about, you know, the better person winning, because there's just no way to separate yourself. Did we not just do this? Why do I go down so far? Is there a trick? Have you got to like only switch into boat mode when you actually hit the water or something? I have not taken my finger off the throttle once during this race so far. I seem to go down a bit less there, maybe. Yeah, when you're in the water, it's quicker to lean back, like it is with boats. And when you're on land, it's quicker to lean forward, like it is with bikes. Because you can't wheelie with a Blazer. Really? Really? This second half, do you know what? It went downhill as soon as we got to the sand open wheel race. gone downhill from that point onwards. The early stunt races on this half were alright, I suppose, but it went downhill at the start. Oh, I suppose. They're just so samey, these races. Like, I'm having the same experience in all of these races because they're just stunt props put down in the same way. Just in a different vehicle. And we get so little time in the water as well. Blaze Aqua race, but most of it's just a normal stunt race. In the water for like 5 seconds and then you back out again. And then we were in the water for like 2 seconds at the end. Ah, that might be one of the worst actually. River-Ratfink. Second last one. I mean, they must be doing something right with these because all the randoms are still here. I think it's more just that they don't know what they could have instead. This track doesn't allow off-roads, and when you play it, you'll question why. What are we doing? What are we... What are we doing? What... What is this? So we've got props just underneath the river that give us super low grip because we're kind of skating the river alongside the props, driving on the props. This is the Blazer Aqua race we never got in the last race, I know, right? Yeah, why are off-road vehicles not allowed in this? That's so weird. I don't mind, again, the concept. The idea of, like, racing on half water sort of thing, so we've got super low grip. But just, again, the execution, like, why would off-road vehicles be disallowed? Why is it such a sort of, like, again, sort of somewhat haphazard tracks there with this Patriot stretch? Like, there's so much more that could be done with this kind of concept. It's not one of the worst that we've seen, though. I'm gonna give it that. At least it's something a bit different. This track isn't too bad apart from all the props and all the checkpoints. It could be, like, more propped and, like, maybe a little bit more interesting if it went a bit further down into there so there's more space to turn around and stuff. And, you know, why are those barrels there in the first place? Landed it, though. What? I landed it! Oh my god. Oh my god. The fact that... Oh god, I'm gone. Nah, respawn. It's not the worst that we've seen in this collection of 16 tracks, but it's far from the best. This second half has definitely made the first half tracks look better in comparison. Didn't think that was going to happen. Although we are saving the best track for last. Can I just reverse to the finishing point? I just can't be bothered to turn around anymore. Rapid Vapid Rally. The last track in this little showcase of Community Series jobs. It's locked to the trophy truck and the Desert Raid. We've played this plenty of times over the years. It was originally community verified by us back in God knows when, 2017, 2018, something like that. And it's made its way into some official Rockstar verification. And rightly so as well. This is an excellent track, even for, you know, it's so many years old now, but it still holds up as a good fun little jaunt around. This is how you can mix in some water sections with some off-road vehicles and have another the track elsewhere around it. This is by far the best track. I already know this is by far the best track of all of the tracks that we've seen today. But it's nice to see something that we verified actually get showcased by Rockstar. I think there was one of those in the first batch of tracks as well. But yeah, the rest of the Community Series jobs don't fill me with great confidence for continued stuff. The previous job was from October 2015. No way. The previous job was made in October 2015. River-Ratfink. How did they find these things? Do more modern tracks. Terminal 66, that's it. Yeah, that was verified by us. Again, the same sort of time as this. 20 sort of 17, 18 era. Something like that. Again, there's still, you know, you can't say there isn't a lot better now, but they still hold up as good tracks. But why do they go so old? I normally like to go around that. It's about equal. I remember the first time we played this on one of the content creator streams all those years ago. It was an absolute marvel. It was amazing of an experience to do for the first time. I'm glad it got a Community Series verification. Might be too difficult for randoms to enjoy though. Maybe that's the thing. Just so much fun. Like, you've just got such a variety of things in this race. The tubes, the jumps, the off-road bits, the water bits, the challenging sections, the bits that you can learn to go faster, like the like taking a bit of speed off for the first bump to get, and it doesn't overdo anything. Locked to a car that makes sense. Like, it's just good, man. And this is the thing, Rockstar like 7 years behind us. We were on top of this, showcasing this years ago. That's why you need to watch these content creator streams and keep on top of it every month when the videos go up. And then you'll be on the forefront of the best tracks. And then in 7 years, when Rockstar end up verifying it themselves, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've been playing this for the last 7 years. This has been a staple for our streams for so long. And now it's clean. Better speed than me coming out of that. It's just so good, this track. Such variety, so much fun. And it's not just hold full throttle 100% of the time. Actually an element of skill and ability required to even make it through. And then even more so to make it through quick. And utilising the actual world, like that jump within the race. Oh, Brit Baggins, we had such a good race. Like that jump being perfectly utilised with the tubes around it, not just tubes for the sake of tubes in a random location. It's just good. And this is the kind of quality you can expect from the community verified program, which is going to return next week to showcase proper tracks. I hope you've all enjoyed this little test stream, at least showcasing these and critiquing the community series jobs, but community verified, it's going to give you the proper stuff. Keep an eye out for the videos every month. Yeah, I'll take a win in the final track though. GG Baggins, that was a fun race. Broughy.com/verified gives you all the links and information that you need.